Bam! Alright guys, I made a bunch of baits up in the Virginia shad color. Alright, that's a white crappie there. I'm not used to seeing white crappie. I think I've caught 2 or 3 all year on Lake Gaston. Not very big, he's probably 9 inches. Alright, this is the LC shad and Virginia shad. Virginia shad and flash have a lot in common. Flash is silver, okay? Flash is silver and blue flake. This one is gold, silver, blue, and chartreuse. Yeah, see the chartreuse in it? And it's got more blue highlight. You see the bluish tint on it? Yep. So it's darker. You can see through flash a little bit. Flash is excellent in clear water. This one is good in clear water and a little bit of stain. Now, I've got the Tweety bird on this one. So we're going to try to, I got like, we got the swim bait, we got the fry. I made it in a lot of different baits. I sell it in a lot of stuff, guys. You have to look it up, the fluke, LC shad, stinger, okay? Look it up on the site. I can't remember all the colors. But let's see if we can catch a couple more fish on it. And what I'm probably going to do, because it's close to lunchtime, I'm on Kerr Lake, guys. Yeah, see the floating docks? Yeah, there's like 2 floating docks I know of on Gaston, because they can put permanent docks in. Up here they can't because it fluctuates. That's why they got those long walkways. The water fluctuates up here a lot, okay? The water can be up to that pole sometimes, and it can be down 15 foot sometimes. So it fluctuates a lot. So they use the floating docks up here. So we're starting today on the floating docks. It's 12 o'clock. I'm not going to fish till about 1 up here. Then I'm going to go home, way home. I'm about 40 minutes from my home. I'm going to stop at a Mexican restaurant and eat lunch. Yeah, yeah. Then I'm going to go home, put in on Gaston this evening by about 3 o'clock. And we'll go fish from about 3 to 6:30 on Gaston and see if we can finish this video, okay? All right, guys. I caught one on that cast. I just had to take my time, and I just reeled it real slow. Never seen my bait. I seen where the fish are. All right, he's not that big, I don't think. Yeah. Somebody asked me, and I'm gonna answer a question. I get asked a lot of questions sometimes in comments, and I try to answer the best I can. One of these days, I'm gonna start doing a live feed on Wednesday nights, and I might answer a few questions. Wow. Okay. Bam. He's about saying he's about 9 inches. Bigger fish have been hard to find. I have caught some. The biggest fish I've caught today has probably been 11 and a half. I've caught some 10s, but they're far and few between. Tweety bird. All right. Tweety bird. People ask me about this rod. Yeah, look at that green shining. All right. I can't read upside down. Wally Marshall Classic Signature Series, okay? I get asked the action of it. It's 7 foot. Lure weight, 1/32 to 1/4 ounce. Line weight, 2 to 8 pound. Power, medium, light action, moderate. Okay? This is the part I like. Somebody asked me, was it a fast tip? No. I don't like the fast tip for crab fishing. All these rods are moderate. The only one that might be I think they're all moderate. I have to look, but I think they are all moderate, except from this Lew's right here. That's a Fenwick rod. It's 6.5. It's a medium light, so it's a little heavier rod. I run 6 pound on it, and I use it most of the time when I'm trying to jig and brush and stuff, and for that purpose. This has 2 pound test on it, okay? So 2 to 8, but it's a moderate. That means that it starts bending sooner back here, guys. You know, fast tip just bends basically on the tip. Why I like the moderate is because it gives me more whip action. I can get that little bait on out there. When you're throwing a 1/32 or 1/48 and you get on 2 pound test, you can cast further with it. Bam. All right. You can see how this rod bends. See, it bends all the way back. Yeah, I love it. That's why somebody asked me, said, Dennis, every time you making video, you always got that Wally Marshall rod in your hand. Yeah, I bought it this year at Bobcat's Lake Country. He sells my baits and 2 guys, and I was up there dealing with him, and I walked over there and picked this rod up, and the rest of it's history. I picked it up and I went, Oh, it don't weigh anything. I had a friend that was at the house a couple weeks ago, and he was looking at my boat and talking fishing. He walked over and picked that rod up because it was laying right on the front deck like it usually is. And I'm switching, guys, going to a Tadpole Junior. He picked it up and he went, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Yep." He said, "It weighs nothing." I said, "Yep." And I've got a little reel on it. This reel is the 1000 size, okay? It's a 1000 size. So, yeah, it's nothing there. I notice a lot of guys I watch on YouTube use 2500s. They're big. I use 2500s for bass fishing. And one of my bass rods, I've got a 2000 on. And I got it's plenty big enough if you're finesse fishing for bass with 6 or 8 pound tests with shaky heads and that kind of thing. Mostly I throw it in slider heads, Charlie Brewer slider heads. Tadpole wouldn't be any problem. Tadpole Junior. Now I was on a bigger school of fish over a while ago, making a different video, and I left them. I might need to go back over there because I said I was heading home. That's a little white one too. All right, next cast. Once I cut the camera off, like I said, I get talking to y'all, and I'm not watching my line. I missed that bite. I threw back out there and I caught one. It's a decent fish. All right, it's a nice one. He's good eating size probably. He's probably right at 9 3/4. He's probably 9 1/4. That's about it. He looked bigger in the water. All right, that's 2 on the Tadpole Junior. So let me switch to another bait. Camera working loose. Look down, camera's pointing at the boat deck. Knob done work loose a little bit. This is a baby. I'm gonna move from these guys. I'm gonna see if there's anything on this bridge. That is a baby. All right, that was on the fry. The fry. All right. Well, I finally caught a crappie. Y'all probably going, what? Yeah, I done caught 2 bass in a row. Spotted bass. I'm back on Gaston, guys. I said spotted bass, we're just worried to death. Some of the locals are talking about how fed up they are with the spotted bass. Somebody asked me the other day on a comment, I said the game commissioners told them to keep every one of them and eat them, no matter what size they are. Somebody said, why? They're not supposed to be in here. Where's he going? Where are you going, boy? I figured that. I can say that is not a that is not a crappie, because he was everywhere. He was great big old yellow breast. Oh, nice one too, isn't it? That's what happens in the fall. They'll come shallow with the crappie. That's a nice one, isn't it? Damn. All right, come on. Where you going? All right, guys. You know, I said the fishing wasn't easy on Kerr Lake. It's not any easier on Gaston either. It's just one of those days. I'm working for every bite. Now, this is on the Willowtail. It's a pretty fish. Good gosh. Oh, I see you. You're a nice one. Come here. I said last clip, I've been a lot of places. I've been on 3 boathouses since I got here. I caught 1 small fish, baby, and lost one. It had a couple bumps. The one boathouse, they were so far back under it. It's one I fish right often. Y'all have seen me fish it many a times. They were so far back under, I couldn't get to them. They were 16 feet back. That's a nice fish, guys. That fish there's not 12 inches, but he's pushing 12 inches. All right, that's 2 on the Willowtail. I got to change baits. Wow, this ain't a crappie. All right, guys, y'all want to see me get my line broke? This has got to be a catfish. I don't have a 2-pound test. Wow. All right, he gonna break my line. I'm holding my line so he wouldn't empty my spool, guys. I'd rather for him break me off than I would break my rod, or I don't want to spend all evening with the fish. I hate catching catfish. All right, guys, y'all tell me about 2-pound test. Yeah, I say all the time, I wouldn't fish with 2-pound test. You can't catch anything with 2-pound test. You can't get them in. There you go. That's old mud cat, isn't it? Flathead, I mean. All right, let's get this little bait out of his mouth. There's the bait. Fluke. There you go, guys. Give you all idea how big he is. There's my pliers. There's my pliers. His tail was curled up here in the net. When you say he's 5, I'd say he's bigger than 5 pounds. I got a set of scales with him, but I'm not putting him on my scales. There you go. Alright, guys. Might be something size of, I think I got something size of catfish. What'd y'all think? Like I said, I didn't weigh that catfish. I didn't want to put him in my boat no more and handle him, throw him around the more than I had to. But he was fat. I'd say he was 24 inches, 25 inches. He was curled up in that net. Flathead. That's a nice crappie. All right. That's the fluke. The only thing I have left is the full-size tadpole. I think I've caught one on the shiner. We'll see. Let me dig around here, guys. Like I said, I made baits just for this video. I made everything, and I made stuff. I don't think I sell the Tweety bird in this color, but I made it anyway in the junior just to see if we could catch fish in them. This is the shiner, which I think I've already done. I think I done it on Curl Lake, but if not, I'm gonna throw it one time here. All right, guys, shiner was no problem. I knew it wasn't gonna be. The shiner has been the hottest bait for me today. On Curl Lake, the shiner was better. I made a video basically fishing with the shiner before I started this video. So won't you get fish line with my Mexican tea there? That's my Mexican restaurant tea. I told you I was gonna stop at the Mexican restaurant when I left Curl Lake, didn't I? I did. I got Paulie adobe. I tell you what, guys, it's all I can do. It's more than I can do. I knew it was gonna be my dinner and my supper. The little girl there, one of the owners, she said, "That's a big meal." I said, "Yeah, I don't order it very often because it's expensive. It's like $18." Yeah. And no, I think it's 16 in tea. You know, with tea and everything, it's like $18. But my gosh, it's a great big old piece of chicken with green peppers and onions and mushrooms all over it. You know, we'll cut real thin. Oh yeah, you can't beat it. All right, guys, I got the tadpole left. All right. Bam. That's LC Shad. I forgot about that. I said, let's see what else I got. I thought, I ain't done the LC Shad yet. Okay, the LC Shad. The LC Shad, Tadpole Junior, Tadpole Senior, Willowtail. Oh, help me. I think Tweety Bird. And like I said, guys, I got 289 items on that site. Or all bought. I think the only thing I have fished with today is the Tadpole Junior that does not come in the Virginia Shad and the Shiner. The Shiner comes in Flash, which Flash does not have chartreuse flake. Virginia Shad has chartreuse flake. Bam. LC Shad. All right, LC Shad and the Shiner have been the easiest thing to catch fish on today. And I didn't fish the LC Shad up Curl Lake, but Curl Lake was tough, I'm gonna tell you. I caught a lot of little fish, a lot of 6 inches or so, but good to be home again. I'll tell you what, they catch some 3-pounders up there, and I've never caught a 3-pounder. But over and all, I'd rather fish this lake as I know it. That's a nice fish, guys. LC Shad. I don't have any slack in my line. So there you go. Look, I done beat the head up on docks. Don't hurt it. That makes it good. All right, got the tadpole. All right, guys, on the tadpole. This is a 2-inch tadpole. The big boy, not the junior. Great skipping bait for docks. If you're fishing docks, it's because it's got this bigger body. So it skips good. But it's not too big. It's 2 inches. There you go. He's pushing 10 inches. See how big the body is? It's like a football, isn't it? And this old floppy tail. And you can rig it either way, too. You can rig it sideways or you can rig it flat. See, it gets thicker in the middle and it's thin on both ends where it connects. All right, and the tail will get pulled off once in a while. I had lost one today under a dock. Fish hit me and I come in and the tail was going. If he grabs the tail and bites down the tail and you set the hook, yeah, it's gonna come off. But once in a while that happens. Bam. Wow. Good gosh. Oh, come on, big boy. They're chasing shad, guys. Come on. You want to try to get my trolling mud? I'll bring you right outside. They're chasing shad here. I'm constantly seeing shad. There's a whole group of shad. Look here. See that school of shad? All right, see how the fish are? They're running out there grabbing at those shad. There's some of that's brush. There's probably 30 crappie there. And there's so many shad running around here that, so I done moved up from where I was at. I was just fan casting earlier. And scattered fish, a few fish here and there. And I'd see little schools of them, and I'd see shad. So I was just fan casting. That's how I was catching them most of the, thank you. He got y'all good that time. Most of the evening, that's how I was catching them. But, excuse me a minute. Good gosh. All right, I hope that helped. Did that help any? That's a nice fish. But I'm seeing them running out to shad, a school of shad come by, and I'm seeing the crappie just going after them. And that's what I seen that time. I threw at them that school of crappie right here 3 or 4 times. They wouldn't pay any attention to it. School of shad came over close to them. 6 or 8 ran out toward the school of shad. I threw between them and the school of shad, and that one grabbed it. So, sometimes right place, right time. That's how you get bit too. If you don't have a live scope, you don't see it. You don't know that. That's what it is a lot of times. I say this a lot in a lot of my videos. If you don't have a live scope, you don't know if a school of crappie just came through, if they just fed up on a school of crappie for a half an hour before you got there and their old bellies are full and not interested. Sometimes you get bit because they haven't fed. And a lot of times you get bit because they're feeding, because they have fed on a school of shad and waiting for another school to come by. You show up, bam. You go, man, this school's on fire. Yeah, they're feeding. So this school right here is not feeding. When I got here, they wasn't feeding. They just took off the last little bit chasing shad. If they're not chasing shad and they're sitting on that, I think it's brush. It looks like it's one spot right there that might be something. They're just hanging above it. If they're just sitting there, they won't bite me. I can come by them, they won't pay attention to it. School of shad comes through, that's what I'm trying to say. Bam, they're after them, I can get bit. All right, guys, that's 2 on the tadpole. Like I say, sometimes it's just the right place, right time. The bait, if the bait looks like something close to look like one of those shad, you get bit, and this does. All right, it's right color in it. All right, guys, I'm gonna head up. Y'all can see the lights getting low. It's 5:30. I had my time set. I was gonna leave here at 6, because now about 6:45, it's hard to see. But there you go. I caught all the fish I caught in this video was on Virginia shad color. Appreciate y'all guys. Thank y'all so much for watching Fishing Lake Country. I always try to throw a thing or two in, might help you some. Like I said, I know a lot of y'all have live scopes. I hear you talking about it, so you know what I'm saying. You've seen schools of shad and see them get close to the crappie and see the crappie get after them. And if you can get your bait in there, usually you can catch one, can't you? Well, sometimes that's what it's all about too. And when they're not chasing shad, you can't catch them. This lake is loaded with shad. The same thing on Kerr up there today. If I found crappie by themselves and nothing around them, they wouldn't pay a bit of attention to me. If I found crappie with some shad 10 or 15 feet from them, I could get them to hit me because they knew those shad was there. All right, guys, Fishing Lake Country Dennis. See you next time.